Dartmoor National Park, probably best known for its ponies and the infamous prison. But the moorland landscape, with its deep valleys, imposing granite tors and rapidly changing weather, give it a uniqueness that just cannot be rivalled. It was here in southwest England that Dartmoor girl, adventurer and photographer Tracey Elliot Reep grew up on a farm. Being dyslexic, she found overcoming learning difficulties at school very challenging, but subsequently Tracey has courageously embarked on incredible solo journeys with no backup but her horses as companions.
How long have you been riding, Tracey?
I can't really remember, but 2 or 3 at least. And then the first long ride I did, well, it wasn't actually that long because it was only 4 days around Dartmoor.
Well, this is where I grew up, in this beautiful place. Playing and riding these super Dartmoor ponies. Following my mother's, Elizabeth's, passion for the ponies. I wasn't much good at school because I had difficulty with reading and writing.
Yes, when you were very young, nobody else could understand you, but I could.
Well, Mum, we got the passion from you.
Yes, well, Dartmoor ponies have been a great part of my life, played a great part of my life, and preserving them for the future generations so that they still remain on Dartmoor and people can still come and see them.
But I did love art, although the art history teacher said I couldn't do the exam because my English was too poor. After school I applied to do a fine art degree course, but got turned down, so instead I joined a travelling circus with my sketchbook. Then it led on to a lot of different jobs, from teaching horse riding in North America to milking cows in Israel. And then I found out what I really wanted to do when I went to photography college in South Wales. And I could combine my love of photography with animals and horses. So this is where I grew up, playing cowboys and Indians. One day I was a cowboy with my smoking pistol, and the next I'd be an Indian with a bow and arrow. I fell off so many times, too many times to count, usually in gorse bushes when my Dartmoor pony swerved to avoid it. I started my business up under Bone Hill there 20 years ago. I lived in a caravan with my Jack Russell dog, and I started with 6 postcards and really not much money at all.
So far, Tracey has completed 4 marathon rides on 3 separate continents.
For an impacting start, I was going to jump my horses into the Rio Grande River, which forms the border between Mexico and the United States of America. But when I found out there was a $5,000 fine or a year imprisonment, I thought, oh, that ought to delay the ride a bit. So instead, I found a deep part to swim the horses through. Riding through America, the Wild West, over several thousand miles, was a fabulous adventure. A dream come true, a dream I had as a child while riding Dartmoor ponies on the moor. There were many dangers. In the south, there was rattlesnakes, spiky cactus and drug smugglers. And then I rode up into the Rocky Mountains, over 10,000 feet, where I'd have frost on my tent every night, in the middle of summer, and there'd be bears and mountain lions. Well, my horses come from East Texas and they weren't used to wild animals. So when we had a close encounter, they would be off in a shot. But I still loved it. I loved the adventure. I loved the fabulous scenery and the wonderful people. Hi, this is Callum and Kingsman, who I brought from a Scotsman who said, "You've never got enough budget, lassie." And I rode them from the top of Scotland to Land's End. It was great to see some of my own country. Then I had to get back to business to earn enough to go off again, this time to Southern Ireland. I hadn't been to Ireland before. I met many good people, including Jerry from County Cork. I couldn't understand a word he said until I got tuned in. We rode to horse fairs and horse races. It was great fun. The Irish and their horses are famous. As you see, New Zealand is spectacular. I did another ride through New Zealand, this time on 2 palominos. One of them was completely unsuitable because she was so nervous. But when I said no to her, she looked at me and she said, "Please take me." So I did. and she became one of my most loyal horses that I have. She took me through really deep, dangerous rivers in the South Island, and we went on to win a beach race against the Maoris in the North Island. We also won $70 for being the furthest away, and I wasn't sure if it was because we'd ridden from the South Island or that I came from England. Last year, across southern Europe from near Athens all the way to northwest Spain on 2 Greek horses. Would you like to come and meet one of them?
Wonderful, yeah.
Hey, Joanna! Her and her bay companion Hermes, we travelled all the way across hot Greece, northern Italy, over the Alps into Switzerland, climbing the mountains again into France, down through France, over the Pyrenees and across northwest Spain to Santiago, which is the old pilgrim trail, and then on to Finisterre. It was a pretty tough ride actually, one of the most challenging ones. It was the weather, the heat, the traffic, the huge cities that we had to cross through, and also the language, because every time we went over a little bit of water or across the mountain, we had to speak another language. We've had about 3 or 4 new Dartmoor pony foals this week.
Wonderful.
So pretty. Such a diverse pony, from being a great children's pony to carriage driving to even in history they were used as pack ponies, taking the tin off the moor.
Wow. So they're strong yet gentle.
Yeah, they are. They're just perfect for children. They make great cowboy and Indian ponies too. I have this dream to set up children's therapy centres around the world.
Wow.
Using these Dartmoor ponies.
Breathe in here a bit, okay? And you're going to mow my lawn for me.
So where next, you may ask? With Tracey, there's always got to be another adventure in sight.
Yes, of course, there are always new adventures and dreams to be had. One is to ride my Highland ponies around our country, learning about the history and survival of our 9 native ponies of Britain and photographing them in their natural habitat, which are the most beautiful spots of the British Isles. Another is to set up Dartmoor pony centres around the world, helping children, and at the same time they'll help the survival of the Dartmoor pony, which is now a rare breed. And next spring I'm riding to Jerusalem. So I'll see you later then.
We encourage you to learn more about Tracey's exciting journeys through books and greeting cards which finance her adventures. Also by logging on to www.TraceyElliottReep.com.